And if I'm living on the street, I for sure don't have one of those.
Hello guys, this is Watertown's first audit. This is Doug, the director at the homeless shelter here in Bartow County. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, Doug, and tell us about yourself.
Sure. My name is Doug Bilal. I'm the executive director here at Good Neighbor Homeless Shelter. And we're basically a facility that's been open. Our program's been open since 1996. And we serve men, women, and families who are experiencing homelessness to try to return them back and give them support mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, so that they can return to the community as productive citizens.
All right, and share with the audience your experience and what drove you here and help you have a passion for the homeless shelter.
Sure. Well, in a manner of speaking, I've experienced what it's like to not have a place where you know you're going to lay your head. Back when I was in my 20s, I moved from where I'd gone to college to Texas to do more schooling. And when I moved, I'd not secured a place to live, and the job that I thought I had didn't pan out. And so I found myself kind of without a place to stay, and wasn't sure if I was going to have to sleep in my car or not. Luckily, I connected with a friend from when I was a teenager, and they graciously let me stay in a spare bedroom for a few weeks until I'd kind of figured out and was able to secure a job and a lease in an apartment. And so for a period of about a month, I slept in their spare bedroom.
Wow.
Which is about as close as I've come to experiencing homelessness. And a lot of the clients and guests and friends that we serve have had it a lot worse than I ever did. But I think that's part of my passion is because someone had compassion on me one time. It's nice to be able to have, and it's easier to be able to thrive when you know that you've got some sort of safety net or support system that will have your back and will help you when times get tough. I started here at the shelter almost a couple of years ago. But was involved in community nonprofit work for 8 years before that. And so, those things along with being a follower of Jesus, I believe that God's called us as believers to care for those that need the most care, that we have an obligation to the least of these. And that serving Jesus and following Jesus means that we're loving all of our neighbors.
Right.
And all of our neighbors really, I believe, means all of our neighbors, no matter the situation that they're in. And so that filters its way all the way down to the neighbors in our community who are homeless.
And just have that compassion. And what brings you back, Doug, as the director is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his own begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. And I totally agree with you that Jesus looked at each person as a human being first, and that is what's your vision and how you look at people here at the homeless shelter as a human being first.
That's right. And we try to advocate with that in our language too. We know that there are people who experience homelessness, and that there are people that struggle in the crisis of poverty, and we put word people first, because that helps drive out the stigma that we might experience when we heard the term homeless person or poor person. There's a certain picture that pops up into most people's minds, and so we just like to flip the script a little bit and use inclusive language that talks about people first, because they're our neighbors or our friends that experience homelessness or that live in struggle in the crisis of poverty.
No, we talked before off camera about the barriers, an issue that the people of the homeless community face here in Bartow County. Could you explain a couple of those and tell the audience what we talked about and just the situation here in Georgia?
Sure. And I guess I'll tell you, like I tell a lot of our community supporters, one of the things that has helped me to understand on a very practical level is an experience that I had driving through a parking lot at a local grocery store, and I saw someone sitting outside that grocery store with a cardboard sign that says, homeless, anything helps. And the first thought as I was driving by that I had was, why doesn't that person just get a job?
Right.
And as I started working here at the shelter, one of the things that really hit me was that person that you see holding that sign, there are a lot of barriers that they have that may prevent them from getting a job. So for instance, if I go to fill out a job application, if I want a job, most of the time I've got to fill out an application. Mm-hmm. And the second question on most applications is, what's your address?
Right.
And if I'm living on the street, I for sure don't have one of those.
I'm outside here of the homeless shelter. And the director, Douglas, gave me the opportunity to come and check out this place. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Doug's talking about this part of this right here. If you could explain to the audience, Doug.
Sure. These are our a few of our transitional housing units. These are 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom houses that we built in cooperation with a grant with the county, and they. This is a 2-year program where families specifically apply and work a program to increase their education and then get moved towards home ownership. So our families stay in these houses and are case managed for a period of 2 years. During that time, they're working and saving. They're going to school or involved in some sort of certification process to increase their income potential. And by the end of the 2 years, they've either finished school or completed a certification, or work towards rebuilding their credit and saving to the amount that they can start looking for a home of their own. And we've had quite a few families that have gone through the program that now are first-time homeowners.
Awesome, Doug. Thank you very much.
Thank you.